So let's talk about two companies that are basically shaping the entire future of online shopping, Shopify and Amazon. They're not just players in the game, they're pretty much writing the rules.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Because at their core, these two have completely different visions for e-commerce. On one side, you have Amazon, which is building the single place to buy literally everything. And then you've got Shopify, which is all about giving everyone else the tools to build their own places to sell things. So in this explainer, we're going to break down how these two totally different business models can both be so successful. We'll dig into what their latest numbers tell us about the health of the whole e-commerce market and, maybe even get a peek at where the next big fight is going to be. To really get what's going on, you have to understand this one key difference. Think of Amazon's marketplace like a giant enclosed shopping mall, right? It's got all the stores, it brings in all the shoppers, and it makes all the rules. Shopify, the platform, does the exact opposite. It doesn't build the mall, it sells you the bricks, the steel, and the blueprints so you can build your own unique shop wherever you want on the internet.
All right, let's get to the scorecard. Because honestly, the numbers here tell a really fascinating story about two companies that are growing in completely different ways.
I mean, look at this. Shopify's growth rate is just staggering. 26% in a recent quarter. That's more than double Amazon's 11%. Now, on the surface, that looks like a total knockout punch, right? The smaller, faster company just running circles around the big guy. But that bar chart, it doesn't tell the whole story. And this number right here, this is why. The sheer, mind-bending scale of it all. Together, they moved over $200 billion worth of stuff in just one quarter. And when you're as gigantic as Amazon, growing by 11% is an absolutely massive achievement. It means you are still swallowing huge chunks of the traditional retail market.
But how do they actually turn a profit? I mean, selling a product is one thing, but building a profitable business model that lasts? That is a whole other ballgame.
Shopify's model is, well, it's beautifully efficient. As you can see, almost 3/4 of its money comes from merchant solutions. That's stuff like payment processing fees. It's what you call an asset-light approach. See, they don't have to own the warehouses or the delivery trucks. They just take a small, super high-margin slice of every single sale their merchants make. It's an incredibly scalable way to do business.
Amazon, on the other hand, is a completely different beast. Its retail business actually runs on surprisingly thin margins. So how do they pull it off? With this. Amazon Web Services. AWS is an absolute profit machine with an operating margin of 38%. That massive profit engine allows Amazon to offer crazy low prices on products and pay for things like one-day shipping, which makes it almost impossible for anyone to compete on price and speed. So what does this all point to? It's Amazon's core philosophy, vertical integration. The goal is to own and control every single step of the process, from the second you click buy to the moment that package lands on your doorstep. And they are building an absolute fortress. They own the warehouses and the delivery planes. They own AWS, the cloud infrastructure that literally powers a huge piece of the internet. They own the ad platform that sellers have to pay to get noticed, and the payment system that handles the sale. It's a completely closed loop, a system they control from top to bottom. Shopify, they take the exact opposite approach. It's a totally different playbook. They are not trying to build an empire that owns everything. No, they focus on the one thing they do incredibly well, building e-commerce software. And then they partner with other world-class companies for pretty much everything else. And what this does is create this incredibly flexible and powerful network. A merchant on Shopify can take payments through PayPal, they can sell their stuff directly on TikTok and YouTube, they can pick from tons of different shipping partners. It's all about giving merchants choice, not locking them into one single system. So, okay, their playbooks are clear, but where do they go from here? What are these titans looking at for their next big wave of growth? Well, it looks like it's all happening on a few key frontiers. Yeah, 3 massive battlegrounds are taking shape as we speak. First, the race for global expansion, where Shopify is actually growing way faster internationally right now. Second, this business-to-business gold rush. I mean, look at that, 145% growth for Shopify in B2B. And third, what you can only call an AI arms race, where Amazon is dropping an enormous $75 billion bet on the future. This quote from an Amazon executive, man, it just says it all. That kind of money tells you everything you need to know. AI isn't just some new feature for them. They see it as a fundamental, once-in-a-lifetime shift in how the entire engine of commerce is going to work. Okay, let's pull all these pieces together.
When you step back and look at the whole picture, what does it all mean? What is this telling us about where e-commerce is really heading?
From a market perspective, it's a healthy but really complex picture. The upside is pretty clear. Growth is still strong, these companies are focused on making actual profits, and huge new markets like B2B and international sales are opening up. But the headwinds are real too. The crazy cost of AI, more competition, and a pretty shaky economic outlook for consumers.
But here's the thing, and this might be the most important takeaway of all. This is not a winner-take-all fight. These two models aren't just fighting for the same piece of the pie. They are making the whole pie bigger. The world of e-commerce is more than big enough for both Amazon's integrated empire and the massive army of independent rebels that Shopify arms for battle.
And that leaves us with one final thought. As AI and global markets completely rewrite the rules of the game, the real question is, which future are you betting on? The centralized all-in-one empire or the decentralized creative and scrappy force of the rebels?